Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Matt and Mike's Matinee. We got a little fun video here, a little catch-up video on a bunch of movies that me and Mike have watched that we didn't get a video in so far on. We just want to put our thoughts down, a little lightning round kind of video. But before we do that, we've got a couple mini reviews for Sideways and K-pop Demon Hunters coming up, so
stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Hello. Are you ready for this, Mike? This is going to be a kind of a fun, kind of loose episode, I think.
Let's dig into
we
it.
haven't done one of these yet, so we're going to see how it goes, everybody. So we apologize if this is a little weird, but I think it'll be a good one. Yeah. So we'll start with Sideways.
Sideways.
So Sideways is a movie by Alexander Payne, who is a director I like quite a bit. He's known for either really intimate, sort of moving drama films that are also kind of comedic, that are both kind of touch on like the hardships that we face, but not in a super cynical kind of way. You know, there's always a little bit of
there's a lightheartedness to it.
Yeah. And then there's a deep understanding of the human condition there, and I've always been drawn to. And this one was a movie that I've heard rave things about, but I hadn't got a chance to see yet. So I thought, hey, why not share that experience with Mike?
Yeah.
So,
if I remember correctly, we were just like, let's watch a movie. And I said, you choose one. We scrolled through the streaming platform of choice to find something, and you're just like, this one.
Yeah,
right
this
here.
one. Yeah, and I'd been saving it for a rainy day. So, and it was good. I enjoyed it. So
it turned out very interesting.
Yeah. So just kind of the quick gist of the movie is essentially there's these two friends, been friends since high school, and one of them's getting married, and they basically plan this little trip across, it's like a wine vineyard tour
in California,
just to kind of celebrate the week leading up to the wedding on this it was just going to be a nice hangout, playing golf, drinking wine, and then things go sideways, hence the name of the movie, where the friend ends up getting into a bunch of shenanigans with the locals that end up, and then comedic hijinks ensue from there.
Some funny comedic hijinks, and then some very awkward comedic hijinks.
Yes,
and then other ones it's just very human. So I feel this person in this moment. Yeah,
these are very flawed characters. They're not necessarily people that are painted in a black and white kind of way. There are people that do things that you just want to strangle the characters, but you're like, but you always understand them. And even after they do something that's kind of terrible or kind of shitty, they kind of bounce back, and then they have a human moment of where it's they're actually capable of caring, or they can be a good friend, and because of that, I think it makes the movie just feel so much more weighty. I think because of it,
it's very, very dense. The way that the characters are written and the setting that they're put in feels like you're trying to chew through bricks sometimes, because you're trying to differentiate the different levels, how they're feeling, what they're doing in the moment. There's a couple of scenes where I was sitting there, I was like, why are you doing that? And then they go to explain it, and I'm like, as a person, if you're in this situation, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
We've all had that friend who is instantly falling in love with somebody, and it just does not make sense.
Right.
You know that it's not going to work out.
Yeah.
And then we all have that friend who is the thinker of the group, who is like, this is dumb. I've set this up for us to do this. Why did you go somewhere else and do something else? But it's so close to home in so many ways.
Yeah. And I think it's the pacing, because you kind of looked over to me and you're like, I'm kind of surprised that this movie is 2 hours or 2+ something hours, and I think that it is a movie that I wouldn't say is boring.
No,
but it is a slower paced movie, and because it's slower paced, and because of all the things you said, whenever those moments, whenever the humor kind of subsides, and then there's these incredible dialogue sequences in this film. The conversation between the main character, the thinker. played by Giamatti,
Mm-hmm.
and his sort of romantic interest in the film, where they're kind of discussing why they both were drawn to wine.
Mm-hmm.
It ends up being kind of like an intimate kind of character study, like through what they're saying.
And
Brilliant
it sets
stuff.
up
Brilliant stuff.
so much tension, and it does not go the way you think it's going to go.
No,
at all.
No, it's really, really good. There's just so many scenes that have stuck with me after watching it. Basically, highly recommended. I think
Absolutely
from
recommend.
both of us to go see that one. It's really, really good. So we definitely want to.
And my rating is on the Discord.
Yeah.
So maybe by the time this is put out,
yeah. What do you think?
your rating might be on the Discord.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it is.
So,
That's why I say everybody
I'm
go to the
going-
Discord.
Well, what are you feeling right now?
What am I
Because
feeling?
I'm definitely feeling like it's like an 8 out
I
of
think
10.
it's like a 6 or 7.
You think so?
Yeah, I think that's what I might have put it as.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. It's not a little higher than a 6. You know.
It's because it's. I know we discussed this after watching the movie. It's not a movie that I would naturally be drawn to. It's not one that I would really go back to watch, consistently. And in my rating scale, that kind of means more to me than just the messages alone. While the messages are fantastic and there's a lot to chew on and it's very deep, I don't see Sideways going in like my regular rotation list type thing.
Yeah.
And so it loses some points on that.
That makes sense. Yeah, but for me, I think it's a great movie. I think it's clearly one of the better drama films of the era it's in, and probably one of the better comedy dramas I've seen.
It's very 2000s.
It's going to get an 8 out of 10 from me.
Cool.
For sure.
Cool.
So yeah, I think that kind of covers that one. Kind of
now
rolling into.
We're gonna go to something completely different.
Yeah, so we'll do K-pop Demon Hunters. So
very popular.
Yeah.
A Netflix show movie that came up that took the world by storm for the longest.
Yeah, it is. Well, still, I mean, I'm still hearing the songs every single time I go to like a restaurant or I go to Lowe's or I go to Walmart. I mean, it's still they're still pumping those songs on the radio. So I mean, obviously, it's still got its hooks in people, and it's returning to theaters again. So,
Again for a second time.
Yeah.
Wait. So it came out on Netflix and then it was released in theaters, and they're going to release it again in theaters. Honestly, I'm all here for it.
Yeah. I mean, so it's popping off, but so I watched it because I mean, one of my friends was like, "You got to see it," and I'm happy that I saw it. I do think that this movie, I'm a little bit more happy with it existing, maybe, and I respect it a little bit more than I personally enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I think for me, if you're not a huge fan of K-pop or just that particular brand of K-pop, not because not all K-pop's the same, but like I think that you're gonna have a little bit of issue with some of the emotional scenes, kind of connecting. Because there's like a lot of big character moments and a lot of big sort of
development
scenes and stuff that happen through the music. And if you're not enjoying the music, those are just not gonna hit as much. And I also think that the end of the movie is a little rushed. I didn't really like the way it kind of resolved itself. I thought it was too quick, and I don't think it really earned it. It just kind of, it didn't feel right to me. But but I also kind of see the movie as like it's made for younger audiences. It's made for me specifically,
True.
And I think that I look out and I'm really happy a movie that is about idols who are very fashionable and very cool, kicking butt, is being marketed and is doing so well. I'm really glad that it exists because it kind of feels like it's like this generation's like Sailor Moon, or Card Captor Soccer or something like that. And so I'm all for it being here, but yeah, I just got a little bit of issues with it narratively. But
you were also telling me how much of like the K-pop scene is being told throughout the progression of the music, how it goes throughout the different years.
Yeah, the different songs are all kind of represent different like eras of K-pop music,
and how there's so much being told about how they're being treated in the real world too.
Right. Yeah,
which
it is.
up.
It is, and it is. So there's some cool narrative things like that where it's like some coded messages about how the K-pop, the idols are kind of treated, and how they have to kind of be so closely guarded. And otherwise they like lose their contracts and stuff. And so it's in there. It has
and
that.
they can't have love, they can't show emotions, etc., etc. Which honestly, after you explained that stuff to me, made the movie a lot better to me. Which I enjoyed it.
Yes,
K-pop Demon Hunters hit the scene, and I watched it with the kids,
yeah.
and we were singing it in the kitchen, in the living room, everywhere, just hooping and hollering, having a great old time. We went to the youngest's birthday party. Was at the K-pop movie showing, and we had a great time just screaming and hooping and hollering in there too.
Yeah.
So to me, K-pop Demon Hunters is a fun movie that really helped draw the family closer together. And through that kind of experience, I think I enjoyed it a lot more than I got a lot more from it than a lot of people did, especially as a 32, almost about to be 33-year-old man. In a movie that's actually focused towards children. It was a really cool way to bond with them, and it was. I enjoyed the music. I like K-pop. I've been in J-pop for the longest time and stuff. So the music was fun and great. After you told me about the underlying messages and stuff in them, it made it even more cool to me. But I do agree with you. They had such a chance to do something really amazing with the end of the movie, and they just really dropped the ball. By not having that grown-up conversation that it needed for her friends to forgive her.
Right. And kind of have a counter to how her own family the way that her own family reacted to the character reveal versus them. They could have juxtaposed the way they dealt with the situation to be like, hey, well, sometimes people don't react to things well, but then they might say, hey, actually, I kind of was a jerk here. I care about this person. I'm gonna like overcome my own feelings on this matter, my own prejudices, and kind of, kind of accept them because they're my family, my friends, or whatever. And I think that it's a shame that they didn't do that because they kind of just quickly start singing a song, and within 30 seconds, it's like all is forgiven,
it's over.
and it's never addressed. And I think that their reaction to the reveal about the character is so bad. There's no way they would have just been all water under the bridge right after that, because they were at the point where they're like, "I'm gonna kill you." So I don't know, that kind of it's just weird in a movie that was pretty well thought out in all other aspects, So I think, but I think because of that, and I'm coming in at a 6. It's a 6 for me. It's got too many problems, and also the whole problem is that lack of communication, which has a reason because it's a parallel. But it's also still my least favorite kind of story.
And it doesn't hit because you're not much of a K-pop fan.
Right. So I think that has it. But what about you? Where are you at on it?
It's either an 8 or a 9.
That's cool.
I could watch K-pop Demon Hunters at any moment. Also, just the memories that was created through this movie being introduced into the world. It's something that I'll cherish for the rest of my life.
Right. It's kind of like it's like my mom's connection with Finding Nemo. Because of us. It kind of makes sense. So I mean, that is going to hugely change people's opinions of it, I imagine, that family connection. But
you ready to roll into individual movies?
Yeah, we got some individual ones. So these are ones that either I've seen Mike hasn't, or vice versa. So
the ones you've seen is Together. So
we'll start with Together.
Tell me about
just
Together.
Real quick, and we're going to do these kind of quick here, so we're not going to take up a huge amount of time, hopefully. But Together is a horror film. And in my opinion, it's kind of in this vein of kind of artsy A24 horror films. But I don't know if it is A24. It could be, but
more research is needed.
But it definitely feels like it could have been released on it. But the movie is sort of a play on kind of the fears that couples have. Like, if I get this relationship, I'm going to lose my sense of self, because we'll end up being conjoined in what is really being like one, like if you're married, or and it kind of capitalizes on that fear, where that's where the horror comes from, is because they basically get sort of cursed, for a better word, to start congealing into one another, start being magnetized to each other, and they're just trying to get out of it. They're trying to avoid
So that's the tension in the movie?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it's really cool. It's a really interesting movie. It was set to be, for me to have a much higher rating of it, because I think that the movie had, like, it was set up to where it had this great parallel to a real life kind of concept or issue, which all the best horror movies do. It had, like, the tension, which was all focused between the two characters, and the dialogue and kind of the relationship, it struggles and kind of, were all really good. The actors are great. The actual couple is a real life couple. It's a real life man.
That's interesting.
And it makes it. I think it makes the intimate scenes more intimate. It just makes everything. It
what
just
a
feels
good twist to that.
It's really good, but I think it goes a little too far at the end. You know what I mean? It just goes a little bit too far into.
Does it pull a Begonia?
Yeah, kind of. But in my opinion, it hurts the movie.
Really?
Because it kind of has, like, these real big, like, kind of twists, and that I don't really think work. I think it just kind of hurts the movie.
Yeah.
Because it kind of gets away from the core of what was, like, really working for me. And I don't think the animations in the film, like, it's a little bit lower budget, and is best whenever they kind of, like,
back off from it
a little bit. And one of the last scenes, like, this big kind of, like, this grotesque
what they're building up
CG
for,
kind of the big shocking scene. And in my opinion, it'd just been better if it wasn't there.
Wow.
So I think.
Do you think so? Would it have been better if it was better CGI, or do you think?
Oh yeah, it would have been
story-wise.
It would have been better if it was better CGI. That one scene would have been, but the problem is that it just kind of became funny. Like for me, it was so weird and didn't. It was, like, supposed to be grotesque and, like, you're, like, supposed to go, like, but for me, I was just like.
So
and so it lost a lot of its oomph. Now, some of the other choices it does, I think, wouldn't have mattered if it looked better or worse. I think some of the other choices, some of the other twists, just hurt the movie. But that one last scene, that would have been fine if it looked better. But the rest of the choices, I think, just bring the movie down. So
what I
heard, I'm kind of sitting at a 6 on that. It's a 6. It's a good movie, and I think that some people are going to like it more than me. It has the potential to be, like, somebody's favorite horror movie of the year. But just for me, it just got a couple things I just didn't like it. So
what I heard about Together was that there's a lot of relationship problems that are going on that it kind of makes a positive light on that it shouldn't. From what I've heard is that the female really doesn't really want to do any of this, and due to what's going on has to do it.
Yes.
And that's not a really
which I
good
think
message.
is fine. Well, I mean, once again, I think it's true to the fact that, like, some people get trapped in these kind of relationships. I think it's something that you should give a shot to. It's got a lot more sauce. I think you should see it, just to get your opinion on it, because I think your takeaway would be kind of interesting on it. And it's definitely got more going for it than a normal horror film. So
okay, sure.
What about you? You should do. I know you went to go see. Why don't you do your horror movie you watched?
Horror movie.
Jurassic World.
Wow, you think that's a horror movie?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's has lost all the horror over the years. But what do you think?
Yeah, Jurassic World is like having a really pretty piece of clothing, right, and then washing it until it's bleached. Yeah, it's lost everything that makes it Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
So they turned this really cool formula of a bunch of dinosaurs have come back to life, and then they took that and made it boring, which was the very first, like, sin of the movie. Yeah. And then they, to make it better, created a monster dinosaur, which, to be honest, was not as strong as it should have been. Yeah. Big old forehead, little derpy arms and stuff. Yeah. If you wanted to make a monster dinosaur, make him a monster. Right. Don't make him a child's toy.
Yeah, I think the movie itself is kind of aware that people are starting to get, like, not interested in the movies anymore, not interested in the dinosaurs. So, I mean, in every single movie, they keep coming up with, like, all these, like, fake dinosaurs anyway.
Yeah, they try to
So the movie just, apparently it just goes full hog, but even then, it's not, but at this point in time, you're like, it doesn't work.
But they don't go full hog. That's the problem. Like, it's like putting training wheels on a motorcycle.
On the hog.
It's like your motorcycle's is loud and cool looking and everything, but then you're not
It
actually.
comes out of the corner. And you see it. And
you
it's
see
like,
the training wheels.
yeah,
It's.
yeah.
They had a chance to make something really cool and really exciting, but they stuffed it underneath a pillow.
Mm-hmm.
So the third hit for me was that none of the people who deserved to die died, and everybody who was interesting died.
Oh, that's great.
So
Love that.
if they would have done something kind of like Alien, where only one or two people lived, it would have been better. Not great, but it would have been better. But there's a couple of characters you watch who are written really poorly, who you're like, please, and then they do that classic cinema where it's like, oh no, it's gonna happen, and then it doesn't.
Right.
Throughout the
And
whole
the whole
movie
movie's built on that. I've also heard the characters are like weak. They're really weak.
Absolutely.
They're milquetoast and I don't know. I haven't heard
and they
any
have to
good things about
explain.
it.
They have to explain their background so many times. It's completely unnecessary.
Right. Well, they have to make you buy who they are.
Yeah.
Because the movie script doesn't make you buy
force it down your throat.
Yeah.
Just like
that's great.
So
that doesn't sound like you gave it a good score, Mike.
No, I think it's like a 2 or 3.
A 2 or 3.
Yeah,
That's bad. That's really bad.
Not worth watching.
Okay, well,
Don't
that's good. I'll be avoiding that one. I won't be watching that. So,
Sorry Baby is your next one.
Yeah, so Sorry Baby is a movie that I watched with my girlfriend. We watched it together, and it's a great drama film. A tough watch, though. I wouldn't go into it just blind. I would know that it deals with some tough subject matter, but it deals with, like kind of figuring out how to readjust to life and readjust to living when you have something horrible happen to you, when you have like something really tragic happen to you, specifically assault in this case. But it does it with such a warmth. It's a really sincere movie. Really understands the situation, and it doesn't dwell on the darkness, while also treating the subject matter with just incredible tact. It's really, really good. I don't really want to go too much into the particulars, because I think people should, as long as you know what kind of movie it is going in, you should go into it without knowing a lot about the plot beats, because it's just there's a lot of it goes in so many kind of interesting directions. The people that she ends up talking to as she's kind of going through this journey of readjusting is just really cool. It's a really cool movie.
Yeah.
Great movie. If it doesn't get nominated quite a bit here at the end of the years for award season, I'd be shocked, but we never know. It's definitely an 8. Also, 8 out of 10 for me on that one. It's really good. That's
really good that they've put out a movie about such a strong topic and then done it justice.
Yeah.
It's. I can imagine this movie maybe being like part of someone's healing process from the way that you describe it
100%.
to me.
Yeah.
So that's nice that it's out in the world.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Definitely go see that one. What's next for you? You want to talk about Elio?
Yep.
Elio.
I can't remember. It's been a minute since we've seen it.
Okay. So the Pixar movie that had everybody kind of going, kind of like, people like seemed a little bit more indifferent about this one. Not kind of not really loving it or not really hating it. No. There's a lot of people just kind of felt like it was just all right. What about you?
Do you want the positives or the negatives first?
Let's go positives.
So first. Positives. It has one of the best parent-child representations I've ever seen in a movie.
That's cool.
Especially in a kids movie. And it's really cool considering the struggles that Elio goes through and then seeing it from another side.
Mm-hmm.
The visuals are fantastic. I think they make the universe really populated and fun and colorful, and they put them in some really cool situations that just makes the universe feel bigger.
Mm-hmm.
But then that's its downfall. It doesn't explore it any further. It doesn't take it to the point where it needs to make it feel like it's a completed story.
Mm-hmm.
And then they take all this really amazing stuff and then make that message to where it's like, oh yeah, you can be different and you could be odd and still have a self-fulfilling life. And they take that message and they say, no, you need to fit into the life that you're being given.
It's interesting. Kind of like a weird sort of conclusion.
Yeah, no, the story is completely forgotten, which is sad because Elio is a really cool character, and then he goes on this adventure and has this really amazing experience, and then the story tells him that he doesn't need to be that person.
Yeah,
and it just tasted really bad.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah,
that's really unfortunate.
If they would have done like the classic Disney, the world is amazing, there's so much fantasy and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it would have been better, but they didn't do that, unfortunately, and
it's a shame.
Dropped the ball. So let's roll into Ellington.
Well,
for you.
First off, Elio, what are you going to give it?
I can't remember. I've got it on my Discord.
You're feeling weird though right now.
Yeah.
I mean, like, what's your thoughts
It's
right
probably
now?
a 4 or 5.
Yeah,
4 or 5.
Ouch. Well, okay,
Yep.
We'll have a choice, Mike. The storm's coming in. We were talking about saving the Sideways for a rainy day, and it seems like the rain is on us.
We've already
again.
talked about Sideways.
I know. So the thing is, you want to cut this video a little short, save what we got, just in case the power cuts out.
There's a big old storm coming through, y'all.
Yeah.
So we're going to cut this a little short.
Yeah,
we need to talk about Eddington. We need to talk about How to Train Your Dragon. So keep your eyes out.
Yeah, those will come
Hopefully
soon.
we'll get a video out for that. If not, a short's coming up.
Yeah, definitely, for sure.
Honestly, if we want to do a short on these, that'd be cool, too.
Yeah. Let's do it.
All right.
It'll be fun. I like this. I like this one. This was a lot of fun,
Yeah.
Mike. I had fun sharing some deep thoughts, but who knows? We might just pile up a couple of more movies and do another one of these catch-up.
What are we going to call these?
I don't know.
I don't know.
That's pending.
We'll come up with an idea before we do the title.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And as always, see you on the clip side.
Bye, everybody.